The Kiwi Ears Étude. Let's talk about it. The Kiwi Ears Étude is a $119 IEM that was sent to me directly from Kiwi Ears. It is a single beryllium dynamic driver, 3BA, and one vibration transducer, which is basically a bone conductor driver for all intents and purposes. Let's start by looking at the build quality of this IEM. Then we'll go from there. The shell on this IEM is not for those with slight ears. It is rather large. It is rather hollow. It has a unique effect that we'll talk a little bit about here and a little bit about in the sound area, but it is very interesting. There's a lot of vibrations with kind of like tactile vibrations with it. But back to the shell. The shell is vented. It is a little bit on the large side. It holds ear tips well. It has a nice anti-tragus catch. And overall, I like the faceplate and design of this IEM. I actually really like this faceplate and think it's really pretty. And it's one of the nicer looking faceplates, I think, on any IEM around this price point. There we go. Look at that thing. Just beautiful. And so all around, I think this is a nice shell, but the shell is kind of part of this whole thing. It almost vibrates to the touch, and when you put it in your ears, it will make a sound and kind of vibration. Thong. So it's kind of weird like that. The cable is, it's a little right for red, black for left. It has a Y split that works. It's a nice cable. It's serviceable. It's a fine cable. It terminates in 3.5, which is pretty normal. Has a little Velcro thing at the end. All around a nice cable, but it's not super exciting or impressive. It's just kind of the standard Kiwi Ears cable that you use on some of their more inexpensive models. Now, on some IEMs, they will use nicer cables. This is kind of on the cheaper side, like the same kind of cable they use on the Eroso, not on the Aether, which has a little bit of a nicer cable. Same with others. Hey, 3 sets of tips. Not bad at all. This is what I call the Kiwi Ears case. It's not super impressive, but it's a nice touch if you ever need to ship this or put it in your pocket. It's a nice solid case that's functional and a good, it's a good addition. Not all IEMs have cases. How does the Kiwi Ears Étude? I think that's how you say it. It's like French, and I'm kind of known for butchering names. I kind of don't care. But how does this sound? It kind of depends on how you get used to it. It isn't perfect, but fun is the easy way to say this. This is what I would call an audiophile tune set, but I think it's one of the better bone conductor or P or whatever kind of driver they want to call it. We're calling this a bone conductor driver IEM because it has that same properties where it kind of vibrates and it kind of hits certain things well. The hollowness of the shells is a hard thing for people to overcome. Like when you take and put this in your ear, it'll have that kind of thump little noise. And so if that's something that you can't tolerate, if you're like, whoa, Jaytis, that's too much. Yeah, just nope out, dude. Just nope out. That's how bone conductor drivers work. A lot of other IEMs that are just kind of like this also work that same sort of way. So it kind of gives you a thing. Like you have to be able to get over that. Like I don't really believe in like driver burn-in, but I definitely believe in brain burn-in. Like this, it takes a little bit of time sometimes to get used to IEMs. And this IEM, for people that are new to the hobby and not used to bone conductor IEMs, this is going to come across exceptionally weird. It has like a massive reverb and kind of a ping-ponginess, but it can also help create a very nice spacious effect. It kind of breaks the mask, and I've talked about the mask before. It's like that feeling of how sound should be when you put on an IEM. And so like you have to have a different sound, almost like speaking a different language when you put something like this on. And you have to think about this in a different sort of a light rather than just, I am putting on good IEM. No, dude. You're putting on a bone conductor driver IEM, which is kind of unique. and special and different and kind of in its own regard. And this one does the bone conductor driver effect very well, and that's kind of something to talk about. The bass on this is very highly fun and rich. I really dig it. This is one of those things that becomes a audiophile toy. The bone conductor driver is a big, huge, and rich, thick sound, and I think this is a very fun IEM that I really enjoy. I really enjoy this IEM, but it has that effect whenever I put it in, and every once in a while, when you're like listening to a track, like maybe every other track, you're gonna get that vibration driver effect, and you'll be like, "Whoa, there's that vibration driver," and it's gonna take you out. Or it might take you out. You might really like that. But it has almost that echo vibration effect, which for some people is gonna be great. And so it is a big, unique sound. It's not the cleanest sound. Let's do some comparisons to other bone conductor IEMs and some other IEMs by Kiwi and others in the price. And then we'll go from there. Okay, the Kiwi ears Étude. Let's look at the graph. You'll notice it has a nice graph that kind of hugs the target in a nice way. You'll notice this little kind of weird dip at 200. That's kind of the bone conductor driver doing its thing. And that's just kind of something you'll know on other bone conductor driver IEMs. But I mean, all around the graph is pretty good. Let's look at some other IEMs from Kiwi. My favorite one that they've done as of late is the Astral. If you're looking at a studio IEM or just a good IEM that around 300, the Astral gets my vote. It's one of my favorite IEMs of this year that have been released. I really dig it. It's really neutral, has a nice bass shelf, good thick clean mids. It's just one of my favorite IEMs overall, and that's kind of one thing they do. Now, the Étude is different than the Astral. It's a lot more normal, like the normal sense of an IEM, and not that unique different sense the Étude brings. Now, this is something a little bit like the septet, where the septet has a lot of drivers, has a little bit of brilliance, but it also has kind of this open backy sort of a sense to it that brings kind of details and space in a different sort of a way. And you might like the septet better than you do the Étude, but it's also $160, and it fits kind of that category of fun IEM, not really good and unique. Like for me, like traditionally good, I would go with the Astral. The septet and the Étude are similar in the fact that they're both, I feel, meant to be unique tuning IEMs, a fun toy for adult men that want to go out and have fun with their music, not this is a boring IEM. No, this is this is an experience IEM. This is a cool IEM. It's not a normal boring IEM. It's a cool IEM. At this price, I really like the Aroso. Like I've seen it for 90. If you can get it for 90, it's like benchmark worthy. At 120, it's still a really good deal. Has a nice tonality. If you're looking for something simple in that price range, I would go with the Aroso. And so it's interesting. They kind of have two IEMs right now that have been released this year that are in that 120 range. So how do they differ and contrast? Again, if I was just going to wanted to listen to something simple that didn't annoy me, I'd probably go with the Aroso. If I needed something to kind of excite me and engage me and something that's fun, and I just wanted to have a fun, visceral experience, I would go with the Étude. There's other sets by Kiwi. There's the Aether. The Aether is not too much more. I've seen it for around 150. I really like the Aether. It's one of my favorite sets. I do think it's a better set, and I feel like it's a really well done planar if that's something you're looking for. Not too much more. And again, that's one of my favorite sets too. I think they're both kind of benchmark worthy, and they do some good things. So it's interesting because Kiwi's done like 5 or 6 IEMs this year, depending how you want to look at it. But and so you kind of got to know what part of the market are they trying to attract. And so oftentimes we think, okay, is this IEM good or bad? And I'm trying to tell you that if you're looking for just a plain good IEM, go with the Aether, dude. It's really good. If you're looking for a little bit of a fun, spicy IEM with some good, interesting upper treble, the Aroso's good. If you're looking for something more studio tuned, the Astral's really good. But for something simple, this is a good IEM. Now, one thing I wanted to show you real quick is the Singolo. I didn't get a lot of coverage. I just got one in, and I'm going to be doing a video about it and a few other IEMs here in a bit. but that's neither here, neither there. But just kind of show you has kind of a similar tonality, similar bass shelf, nice, kind of hugs the target. And the Étude kind of has a really nice frequency response, and I think that's something to be applauded. Like, well, Jay, it's a lot of IEMs hug the target. Nuh-uh, man. Nuh-uh, not like that. Let's look at a few others that are bone conductor style IEMs. This is an older one. This is the Plutus Beast. And what you notice about the Plutus Beast is it has a ton of energy right here and can be considered to be somewhat shouty. Now, I like the Plutus Beast as one of my first IEMs. I actually ended up giving it away to a friend. And it's a nice IEM, but it does have the similar effects. And I would go with the Étude over the Plutus Beast, mainly because of frequency response. Also because the fun factor, I think, on the Étude makes it something that I actually want to listen to rather than am forced to listen to and getting a strange effect at the same time. Now, other IEMs out there like the K-Bear 02, its clarity and detail was lacking. On the Étude, it's actually pretty good. It's not fantastic, it's not class leading, but it's pretty good as far as bone conductor drivers go in, where something like the K-Bear or the KB ear, which is not nearly as fun to say as K-Bear. So I'm just going to roll with K-Bear until I get corrected by a person in real life. But anyhow, I digress. Point being, the Étude to me is something that I think people that are like true audiophiles might want to look at. Like if you're an audiophile with a lot of expensive IEMs and you just want something kind of different and fun, but you also don't want to break the bank, I think the Étude could really be a good set for you, where the K-Bear to me is very, yeah, it's not really worth the $40, maybe 20, but it's still a unique set to take a listen to if you've never heard a bone conductor driver IEM before. As far as other IEMs that have bone conductor drivers, this is the Z Empire. This had a lot of hype last year. I got a chance to listen to a couple of them. A couple friends have lent me theirs, which is pretty nice of them. Kind of being a reviewer, I kind of get certain privileges. You notice that like the Z Empire doesn't have a lot of this upper treble. Like the Étude does a really good job with its upper treble. And so for me, I would go with the Étude better just on frequency response, just on memory, just on what I think. I just didn't like the Z Empire. I thought it was a good set, just not a great set. I think the Étude is something that people who get used to the bone conductor driver nature of it could daily drive and are going to like, despite its unique flaws that are not going to be for everybody. I mean, what else is out there at $120? I mean, obviously we talked about the Oroso and kind of the Aether, but what about other brands? There is the Alpha Explorer. Now, the Alpha Explorer doesn't really have great mids for me, but it has fantastic bass, fantastic air, and kind of hits this kind of U-shaped tonality in my ear, and I really dig it. It's a really solid set and something to consider if you're looking for a clean tonality with a small shape to it. It's a really solid set, one of my favorites. Another one to think about, the Jazeer X Z Reviews Defiant. Now, if you've listened to a Z Reviews IEM before, you might be like, come on, Jay, just throw them in. No, this one's actually pretty decent. It's $100. It's something to consider. But again, it's a more traditional IEM. You know, another bone conductor driver I wanted to show you is the Pula Anvil. You'll notice the Pula Anvil, let's see if we can normalize this around 5. But what you'll notice is that the Étude has more sub-bass. It has more of that kind of presence region. And like for me, the Pula Anvil just didn't sound good to me. And it's a $200 set. It was a $200 fun IEM, which to me, the worst tuning that you can ever do is a mid-bassy detailed set. There's a few of them that I know, and they've all been really weird without EQ. For me, this tuning needs EQ. But the Kiwi ears Étude, it's pretty solid. I don't really think it needs EQ. I think it's a solid set overall, at least from frequency response, especially if you can get over the pinginess of the vibration driver. The Kiwi ears Étude. Let's rank this up. 9 for bass, 8 for mids, 7 for highs, and 7 for imaging. The imaging and the highs aren't really that great. It doesn't really have that great detail or upper air, but it does have great note weight and great soundstage. How does that rank at the price? I mean, it's good. Like, it's good. Like, it's not class leading, but at $120, there's not too many IEMs I would rank above it. but it's a solid, fun set that I think people are going to like, but I also don't think it's the best for everybody, depending on what you're looking at. As far as how this goes in the Kiwi market, I mean, I didn't like the quintet. I think, it fits right about where it should, kind of in the middle. It's not the best, but it is a very fun, expressive set that I think people will like. The Kiwi Ears Étude. So let's summarize a few thoughts. Now, I want to talk about the hobby for a minute. And the hobby is something that I didn't quite get until I actually became a reviewer, and probably only maybe a year ago. It's not about finding that one perfect IEM. Sometimes it's about finding IEMs that can be engaging for people. There's a lot of guys out there that have a lot of money and don't have the means to be able to travel, do things they want. And so the audiophile hobby is kind of like their solitude. This is for guys like that. This is a fantastic set for people that don't want to spend too much, but still want a fun, engaging set. I think people are going to like this set. I think this is a good set, but it's not going to be for everybody. And that's the main thing I want to get out. Thanks for watching my silly video. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye for now. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Oh, you're expecting a teaser for our next video. Well, we don't have that kind of money. What are you expecting? One of those store reviewers to show up in a saucy little leather number? Go. Oh, I can tell you one thing. We are going to have a collab video. We have no idea what it's going to be. Probably Kryn, maybe Chris. Or Joyce. Don't deny it. She's got range. Go. Get out of here. Go.
Go!
Go.
Go on with you!
You're mid, you're mid, you're mid, you're legendary. You're mid, Jaytissofficial out.